Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing today? Before we start this video, I need to get myself a cup of coffee, so let's go ahead and do that. I have my coffee now, and I am ready. I love this mug, and if you've been here before, you know I love this mug. And then my favorite mug is actually not clean right now, but this is my second favorite mug. I am ready to get this video started. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about vision boards and what personally I'm doing to start 2026, throughout 2026, some ins and outs, and just a little chat today. This is what I was feeling. What inspired me to make this video was actually me and a couple friends had gone to this like full moon night event situation. I don't really go to them very often, but I decided to go to this one and it was really cute, really fun, but we did a vision board scenario where they had like a table of crafts and everything, and you just kind of like pick through it and make a small vision board for 2026. And I really liked the idea, and I wanted to make it more specific and more me-centered rather than having just like stuff that I kind of just have to like fix to fit me. So it inspired me to make my own vision board at home. So the next day I literally went and printed off pictures and made my own vision board. But I wanted to show you guys the original vision board I made at this event. So I'm gonna pull it out for you. And I thought it was really cute. And it was actually the first time I collaged anything, actually worked on collaging anything. And you know, it's not perfect because it was at an event, but this is what I had made. Sorry about the glare because there's a light behind here. But you know, we got the trust the process going over here. We got dreams, books, reinvent, more creating, trusting the process, and a bunch of like tarot symbols and like people dancing and a clam with a pearl and a couple girls. And I really liked some of these pictures and just put things that I resonated with. And like we got like flowers, just like I glued on like oh, that one fell off. But flowers and everything. But yeah, I thought this was really cute and a really cute starter way to kind of like do a vision board. And I thought it was really fun, and I like literally entered a flow state here, and I kind of wish I had headphones when I was doing it, but it was me and my friends, and we were just like sitting around each other and doing it together. So that was that. But after that, I was like, okay, like I think this year I actually want to make a physical vision board. And my thought process behind that was I have a Pinterest, so let me show you my Pinterest. So I have a Pinterest if you guys are interested. I don't know if it's down below, but if you're interested, let me know and I shall send it to y'all. So this is my Pinterest, and in my Pinterest I have a bunch of boards, right? Like literally so many boards. Like I use this for my own like mental vision board where I go and I'll look at it like digitally. I use Pinterest as that, but I never have made like a physical vision board. So for example, for home decor, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. If you go on my Pinterest, you'll see this. But in home decor, I have their own little sections. So I'll have like dining room section, which it doesn't have much in it, a color palette section of color palette ideas. I have a kitchen section of like what I stuff like plates and how I like the kitchen to look. I have is this living room? No, this is like the walkway section. This is the living room. So I have folders and folders and folders kind of situation. And after I did this kind of event situation, I really liked the idea of making one more specific to my goals. And I always see people talk about vision boards and everything on their vision board gets completed by the end of the year, this, and that. And I do always write a list of resolutions in the beginning of the year, and at the end of the year, I'll go and see what I got done. But this time I wanted to do it so I could stare at it and kind of just like be reminded every day. And I think that's what's really useful for a vision board, is to put it like to make it very pretty, but practical, so that when you put it in your way, so you look at it every day, you want to look at it every day, and when you look at it, it inspires you. You should look at your vision board and it should inspire you. So when I looked at this vision board specifically, I was like, wow, it is inspiring, but it's not me. Like, I have things I like on here and that I want. I guess this was kind of like a rough draft with things that like I had at that place. But I looked at it and I was like, I love this and I love it as a collage and like just like as a base idea. And I had an idea already when I went into this, what I wanted my year to look like. But I didn't have like the tools to really make it personalized. So I went home, I did my Pinterest scrolling, and I was really meticulous with what I wanted. I had a couple categories I wanted to hit. I wanted to hit health, I wanted to hit fashion, I wanted to hit hobbies, and sorry, I'm looking at the bigger vision board. And I wanted to hit, like, I guess, school, business, I don't know, just like, I don't even know. And at this point, now that I'm looking at it. Okay, so I'll show you guys my vision board in just a second. It's pretty big. So I just wanted to give you a rundown of what I did, and then I'll show it to you, and then we can chat about it and everything. So what I started with was a kind of like a mental bullet point of how I wanted my year to look, what I wanted for the year, how I wanted to maneuver throughout the year, and then kind of dwindled that down into categories. And then I went into Pinterest. I meticulously looked through pictures that really hit that vibe for me and pictures that really resonated with me. I pinned them on my Pinterest. And then originally my idea was to download all of them and put them on a Microsoft Word document and print it through a printer. But I decided not to do that. I scrapped that idea, and what I ended up doing, because it was so many pictures, it was like 91 pictures that I chose. With the idea of the Microsoft document and everything, I decided to scrap it. And I have like a local CVS Walgreens situation, wherever you can print photos. And I decided to just upload it there and just pay $30 to get all of them printed out, because the difference between a regular piece of paper and printing it out on photo paper, to me, personally, I thought elevated my vision board a little bit more and made it more pretty to look at. And that was my goal, was to make it look nice and practical, so that when I look at it, I want to look at it. So then what I put on the board, I want to come true because it's pretty. Does that make sense? It's all aesthetic, but ties into reality and psychology, and you know what I mean? So for example, I have like this, do you see how it's shiny? Like, these are my leftover ones that I didn't use. And I have this, like I cut this out, but I ended up not using it. Like, I have a couple of things in here. I have like passport pictures. I have body goal pictures. I have people DJing. I have, what are these called? Quotes. I have pictures of books. I have pictures of heels that I cut out. I have pictures of DJing again. I have books, quote, body goal. Like, I have a bunch of these shoes. Like, I have another thing, lock the fuck in. I don't know if you can see that. Girl, you need to lock the fuck in. I got some more shoes. So these are things that I didn't end up using on my vision board that really resonated, but there were pictures that were similar that resonated more, and some of them I did use like half of the image. So you can do whatever you want with your pictures. It was really scary at first, but yeah. So I went and I got a bunch of them printed. I paid for them. And then I came home and I had this leftover big ass black poster board that I used for a pyramid head costume that I was going to do that I didn't finish in time for Halloween. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to use this. It's really sturdy, it's really nice. So I just like used an X-Acto knife and like cut the excess pieces off. And then what I did was I pulled out all of my pictures, I laid them out in categories and just started setting them on the board and just fiddled with it. I think it took me about, shit you not, maybe like 10 hours. I don't know how long that, I don't know. I came home around like 2 o'clock, probably ate some food, maybe around 3 I started, and I finished doing it at 1 a.m. and it was so fun. I put on some music that really inspired me. I put on some like healing music. I put on some like alpha waves. I put like some rap. I put some electronic music. Like I just, whatever vibe I was feeling, I played, and I was just doing that while doing my vision board. And I was just like playing around with how they sat, looked at it, played around with how they sat. When I enjoyed how it looked, I went through and cut pieces I wanted to cut, put them on the board, played around with it a little more, then I glued it down. Okay? And as I'm doing this, I'm like thinking about the intention of the board and how I want it to look, and how you place your pictures on the board only needs to make sense to you. So for me, I wanted to go inside to out, like an explosion, and that's what worked for me in my head. And in this one, when I initially did it, that's kind of what I was going for, but it didn't end up that way because there's like this like rib cage underneath, and I wanted it to kind of like grow out from there, but it didn't work that way. And I wanted to use the idea I had for this. So with that being said, let me show you my vision board. It's like a conglomeration of stuff. This is like my prized possession right now because not only is it a vision board, it's kind of like an art piece, and I'm like obsessed with it. And I showed it to my boyfriend, and he was like, if you showed this to me and told me get the vibe, I got it. Like I got the vibe immediately. Like I understand exactly. And I was like, nice, that's exactly what I want from this. And so funny, I put this right next to like where I sleep. It's like in my vision when I'm going to sleep, I like fall asleep looking at it, and I wake up and the first thing I see is the vision board. I might move it somewhere because it's like just lying against the wall right now, but I'm trying to figure out somewhere that's a better option. But anyways, other than that, let me show you the vision board, the most anticipated part. So I guess let's move it. All right, here she is. I can't tell if you can see it. Here, let me move it. Don't look at my feet. Let me put it here. It's a little bit bent, but that's my vision board. I don't know if you can really even see it, but I have a feeling you might have thought I would have like a shit ton of money on it or 10,000 subscribers on it. But what I think is important for a vision board that I hear people like have discourse about when they talk about a vision board, like half the people think vision boards are like really stupid and like embarrassing because putting so much work into doing a vision board and then at the end of the year realizing that you got none of it done. In my opinion, most likely you didn't make realistic enough goals, and you made goals that are realistic maybe in like a 5-year sense. You know what I mean? Like you can reach for the moon for your vision board, but there are some things that you do have to kind of be realistic about, as in like if you're starting, let's say you want to be a content creator and you're starting from 0 subscribers, and in a year you want to hit 1 million subscribers. It happens, but like realistically, without getting discouraged, you want to set a smaller goal first. Smaller goal, maybe in 6 months I want to hit 5K subscribers, and by the end of the year I want to hit 10K. I think that's pretty possible, especially if you're really, really trying. But anyways, that's my point with it, is that if it's not being done by the end of the year, and keep in mind if it's a yearly vision board, like if it's a 5-year plan vision board, don't listen to what I'm saying. You can put a 5-year plan goal on there. But if you're doing a yearly vision board, keep in mind of things that are realistically able to achieve in that year. And realistically and logically, that's different for you. That's different for everyone. And in my opinion, what I wanted to go for was, since I'm going through this like foundational kind of rebrand, rebuild situation, I have my foundation of things that I like, and I want to build on top of that. I want to build better habits. I want to start doing more and whatever. And I think that is how it represented itself on my vision board. And that's why I think I don't have super much money or a lot of like stuff having to do with content creation and stuff like that. I have stuff that's like about me, not about my content. And when I was thinking about it, I was like looking at it and I was like, damn, like maybe I should have put some of that stuff on there. But then I was like, wait, in my opinion, how I'm looking at my vision board is that if I embody all of this and get all of this done by the end of the year, all of that will then just follow, because this vision board is about me. And then my hobbies, like embodying, as I was saying in the pivot, like in my pivoting is a superpower video, if you embody the vision you have of your dream self, the life will follow of that dream self. And that's kind of what I was going for this vision board. If I can embody my dream self, which it'll change. I mean, this won't be the same thing in like 5 years, but if I embody my dream self, then what I want will follow. And that's kind of how I dealt with my vision board. You can deal with it any other way, but logically, this is how it worked for me. So I'm going to actually pull this down so I can show you guys what I have on here. So I had the goal, I don't even know how to explain this to you guys. So I just picked every picture that resonated with me and as much of them as I could fit on here. So I have a bunch of bedroom decor because I want to do our bedroom this year, and I want that to be our safe space because our bedroom is kind of plain right now, and it's been plain since we moved in. And actually we are finally starting to get like paint for it, and honestly all that needs to be done is a paint, so then I can decorate. I have a lot of traveling stuff here and like a Japan thing because I want to go back to Japan. I realistically know that maybe this one won't happen this year, but I have it on here because what if it does? That's a dream of mine, to go back with Aiden. I have a lot of outfit pictures on here. Like I want these jeans. I have like this outfit picture, just like the aesthetic I'm going for, which is basically already my aesthetic, but just like a little bit more like elevated with pieces. I have this picture of this girl on here because I really like the way her bangs are laying, and that is a goal of mine. I have a bunch of bangles and jewelry because I love that, and that's like my goal, is to have a jewelry collection. I have this anime girl because she literally has my hair. Can I show it to you guys? I don't know if you can see it. But here you go. I guess that's a better like idea, is to like just bring it over here. I also have some pictures of like food because I'm trying to eat very healthy this year. That's a big goal of mine. I want to travel. I want to hike. I want to do more DJing. I want to focus on DJing this year. I want to, focus on less distractions. Results require routine. Success is my only option. I have a lot of very like inspirational, but like it resonates with me a lot. Like, don't just put stuff on here that you're like, oh, this is cool. It also has to resonate with you. Like, it can't just be like, oh, this picture just looks kind of cool. I did that with some of them, and those ones I just ended up not putting on my board. And all of these pictures I think are cool, but they're cool and they pulled me to them for a reason, and that's why I put them on this board. So in the middle, I have Superstar because that's my dream. And then, oh, I have glue on it. So I have Superstar in the middle. This is like what I want to embody. Then next to around it are like some of my more favorite images. I really like this girl and her back dermals. I love this closet, this bedside table, these pants, this DJing picture, love it. This girl, just, I had to put her on there. She's me. And the hair, and then it kind of just like goes out that way as like kind of like a spiral, and it all either goes in to it or it goes out. You know what I mean? So that was like my vision, was that it's like an explosion or a spiral out or in, and it kind of embodies everything that I want to do this year. I want to be lucky. I want to lock the fuck in. I want to make sure I get everything I want done, and I want to be consistent. and I want it to be consistent. I want to build the life I dream of. And that's what this is. I will live the life I dream. So, yeah, that's my vision board. I also have, like, some grade stuff on here because of school and everything. And I do have some money. It's just, like, behind over there. But this is my vision board. My vision board. Sorry about the glare and everything, but... And it's also, like, backwards. And obviously I had to put this picture on there because, like, her back ate. I need that. But yeah, so I have this on here, and I'll just leave it in the background for now. But that's my vision board, and I literally have that by my bed, and I stare at it every day. And every day I wake up, or anytime I'm bored, I'll just literally go meditate in front of it. I don't know if that's weird, but I'll go and meditate in front of it, and I'll, like, stare at it, and it will, like, it's so weird. It'll inspire ideas for videos, for TikToks, for what I want to do for the day, how I want to carry myself for the day, how I want to start the day. Like, sometimes I'll wake up and I'm just, like, not feeling it, and I'll just, like, lay in bed and I'll, like, open my eyes and I'm staring at my vision board before I even get up. It's, like, the first thought on my mind. And then I'll, like, stare at it and I'll look at it, and it will, like, inspire me to get up and wash my face and brush my teeth and put on clothes and carry myself a certain way, because this is my goal. And when you look at it every day and are reminded that this is your goal, and if the images inspire you, it will literally work. That's just, like, how it happens. And that's why I kind of wanted to bring it to life this time instead of keeping it digital, because I can stare at it. Like, when it's digital, like, it's on your phone and you're like, oh, cool, and you'll just keep adding pictures to it. And it was like, no, I want the core of what I want on this. I want to do better at DJing. I want to build my platform by being consistent. I want to be healthy and eat healthy food, go to the gym, have the body I want. I want to take more pictures. I want to read more. I want to be consistent. I want to be a fucking academic machine. I want to be a fucking superstar. I want to be lucky. I want to break the cycle. It's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. When it happens, I don't know, but it will. Kind of situation going on here. A lot of trust in the universe going on here. A lot of woo-woo as well. But manifestation is really fun, actually. Manifesting is really fun. So, like, doing this was so fun. And while I'm doing it, I'm, like, thinking and, like daydreaming about how I imagine my future will be. And then it's, like, kind of infused into the board. So now when I look at the board, it like emanates this energy, and it, like, makes me happy. And that's why I say it's kind of like not even a vision board only. It's like an art piece that I like staring at. Like, I'll literally sit there and, like, stare at every picture because I love every single picture on here. And I just, like, stare at it and smile and go, wow, this is awesome. Wow, I need that. Wow, yes. Wow, 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 wow. How can I get that? What can I do today to make me one step closer to whatever goal on the board I'm looking at that I want to work on today. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, it's almost like a to-do list for the year, but I don't know if any of that made sense or if that was confusing, but I think vision boards are so useful if you utilize them correctly. And I think that people who don't really get vision boards might not be doing it correctly. And if you are and you don't like it, that's totally fine for you. And that's valid. And there's probably another way that you enjoy a little bit more. But for me, I think as a visual person and as, like, a visually creative person, doing it was really fun. Plus, on top of looking at it is another pleasure of mine, just to, like, stare at it and be like, yes. And it just motivates me. It's like a motivation board. And I do think that a lot of these are really realistic for me in the year, because I feel decently close to all of these already. It's just, like, a little bit more of, like, an extra push. And a lot of it has to do with being more consistent and not really making excuses for my goals. Like showing up consistently on YouTube, or showing up consistently on TikTok, or showing up consistently to the gym, and eating healthy consistently, and being there for people consistently, and, like, you know, just things like that. And everything of my dream after that will just follow. So that was the initial thought of this video that I wanted to talk about, was the vision board. Hold up, let me take a sip of my coffee. But on top of the vision board, I also did kind of want to talk about a couple of ins and outs I'm having for this year, which have to pertain to this board. Some of the outs are definitely not listening to your body, as in, like, if I don't want to go out, I don't want to go out. As in, like, let's say someone asks me to go out and I'm not in the mood to go out. I'm definitely a person that will be like, oh, like, let me just go. Like, maybe it'll be fun. But no, like, listening to my body is what's more important for me this year, is to just make sure that I'm keeping my boundaries for my body to keep me from being burnt out, because I'm trying to be consistent and I'm trying to reach my goals. And sometimes that stuff gets like in the way, and I'm not saying I need to grind and be on that grind culture, but I feel like my downfall is not being consistent and making excuses for why I'm not consistent. And that's why I need to listen to myself and prioritize a little bit more, of being like, okay, today was supposed to be my filming day, but someone hit me up to hang out, and then I'll just go hang out instead of just like doing my video. And then it was just like, okay, like, why? Like, it's fun to go hang out, and don't get me wrong, like, sometimes it's okay to do that, but I feel like I was doing that a lot, and I was just like, okay, like, I actually need to, like, lock in, and if that is me being a little bit more of a hermit this year, that's okay. And honestly, I want to do some things alone this year. I want to do, like, I want to push myself out of my comfort zone and just be doing things alone more often, like adventuring alone, going to a new bookstore alone, going to a new restaurant alone kind of situation, going to the mall alone. Although it's kind of hard to be doing all that stuff alone. It's only like when Aiden's at work am I doing that stuff alone most of the time. Usually he's with me, but I wanted to kind of incorporate that into my New Year's resolution. What's going on here? I don't know. Whatever, we'll deal with it. But yeah, that's one of those. Prioritizing myself, making sure I take care of myself, and just making sure I'm moving. Like, all year, I want to make decisions with the thought of, how would my higher self make this decision? Silence. Bro. But yeah, I wanted to go into the year having that as being my, like, baseline of how I want to conduct myself this year. So I have, like, a couple of ideas of that. Some of my outs, or some of my ins, would be: no is a full sentence, signature perfume, stacked but elevated jewelry, dressing up to make myself, like, dress up more often, which I kind of implemented last year, but I want to keep implementing that into this year, of just making sure I dress myself at least every day, whether it's getting up and taking off my pajamas to put on, like, a cute lounge set, or getting up and getting dressed to go get my nails done or go to class for, like, an hour. Doesn't matter how long I'm dressed up for. I just want to get dressed for the day, because I used to not do that, and I think it really just, like, helps me feel like I've got something accomplished, on top of, like, not that I don't accomplish things during the day, but getting dressed adds that, like, oh, like, it makes you feel good while you're accomplishing something, and makes you want to accomplish it more because you feel good and look good. Does that make sense? So yeah, things like that. But yeah, I think that's all I got in me. I just wanted to talk to you guys about a vision board, about how you can reach your goals in the year, if you want to make a vision board or not, how to do that. I think you need to so if you have a big goal you want to achieve, I think the best way to achieve it is to break it down into smaller goals that helps you get to that goal. And that's kind of like what I did for this vision board. And you just kind of have to make those, like, SMART goals. I can't remember fully what they stand for, but, like, specific, measured by time, realistic. I can't remember the rest, but you know what I mean. Yeah, they have to be pretty specific. And yeah, just make those goals achievable, and if it seems unachievable, break it down into smaller goals. But don't forget that you can literally achieve anything you put your mind to. Your life is in your hands. Your dream life can happen if you put in the effort. Like, I think people tend to forget that, like, just because you have this dream doesn't mean it needs to stay a dream. If you really want it to come true, like, you have all the ability for it to come true. If other people have what you want, it's not unrealistic to want it and to get it. You just have to understand that you can't just sit there and wait for someone to like come and scout you, or wait for someone to hire you, or wait for someone to put you in the position for you to get that opportunity. No, you have to go out there and get it. You can want and dream and manifest all you want, but if you're not actively doing something to help that manifestation come, I can't speak. If you aren't actively doing something to help that manifestation come through, the manifestation is not going to just drop on your lap. And I will stand by that. Manifestation only works if you're actually putting effort in behind it. And the manifestation is kind of like a way for you to be like, oh my God, it's going to happen. Oh my God, it's going to happen. It's to shift your mindset to be like, instead of doubting yourself, instead of feeling that imposter syndrome, instead of feeling like you can't do it, it will shift your mind into being like, okay, I already have it. And then your psychology will start like repeating that, and then your body and your reality will shift for that to happen. So if you really want it and are working for it, your reality is going to eventually shift, and it is possible. That's how people get what they want. You do the action, you dream about it, you do the action, you do an action every day that gets you to that step, and then you get there. You're there. One day you wake up and you're there because you made the choice every step of the way to get there. And I think that's what people are forgetting about manifestations, forgetting about vision boards, forgetting about resolutions or goals and dreams or whatnot, is that your dream isn't a dream if someone else has it. Like, it's possible for you to get it. But yeah, that's my little motivational speak. That's my little TED talk on vision boards and why I think they're very useful. Especially, this is so funny because this is the first time I've actually made a physical in-person vision board. Like, I have my own version of vision boards that I do. I don't really do them yearly. I just do them when I want to. But this was my first time doing it yearly on a poster board. And I already am finding it useful, in my opinion. I really enjoy it. So I think if you're not doing a vision board and you're looking for a way to kind of get your goals and to like look at them, or you're looking for a sign to do one, this is your sign to do your vision board. Like, as a very spiritual woo-woo girly that I don't really like extend onto here. I do a little bit, but I don't as much as as spiritual as I am. But this worked for me. This is working for me. Every day I look at this thing and I'm like, okay, what can I do? What can I do to make this a reality? And yeah, it inspires me. And I think that's what a vision board's for it to be inspiring, for it to make you want to achieve your goals, for you to look at the dream life that you have all conglomerated on a board to go like, yeah, I'm going to be there one day. So that's why I think they're really useful. And if you are making a vision board, planning on making the vision board, or whatever your opinion is on vision boards, let me know down below. I would love to have a chat about it. But yeah, I just really wanted to share it because I've been really enjoying it. And for the past, I think I made it on the 2nd of January, 3rd of January or something. And I've just been loving it, and I love staring at it. And it's I don't know, I'm obsessed. I want to get it framed. And yeah, breathe a little bit of air into your dreams, into your vision boards, into your goals and resolutions for the year. And yeah, I love you guys. And let me know what you want me to do for the next video, any ideas or anything. And thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. Bye.